So let's just stand here with our feet hip width apart and spread out the toes. We're going to be aware of the ground underneath and roll the shoulders back. Draw them down and let the arms hang lightly beside you. It's like the little fingers just to the seam of the trouser leg there. Take a deep breath in and then out. So as we stand here, just take a moment to stand as upright as you can and be aware of our breath. Full and wide breath, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just feel your ribs inflate laterally around the body, and then they settle down to deflate. As we work with that lateral breath, we're then able to draw the belly button in towards the spine, keep a connection as we breathe full and wide, and we can maintain that core connection throughout. I'll try to. Standing within the natural curves of your spine, so try not to lean forward or back. Hip bones are facing forward. And then just start to rock forwards and back. Come towards your toes and then your heels. So here, keep the shoulders above the hips. Just almost feel that your weight shifts through your ankles, forwards and back. And then here we'll go side to side, gently sway. So careful not to lean. Again, keep the shoulders above the hips. And then as we come back to center, lift the heels, come up into the space above your head. Roll the shoulders. And let the arms hang lightly beside you. And bring the heels down. Good. And then again, lift on up. Squeeze the bottom to help you balance. Keep the feeling of the belly button drawing in. Roll the shoulders. And bring the heels down. Then place your hands on the hips. Squeeze your right buttock. And breathe out to lift the left knee. Hold it there. And if it's particularly wobbly, you can always have the toes down and just have the heel up instead. Now turn that knee out, keeping the hip forward. And really tighten up the standing leg. So let's work with that, opening out from the hip, stabilizing the hip as we stand and balance. So stabilizing this right side. Good. Breathing out as you turn out. Breathing in to hold. Breathing out to come back. 2 more. And then step down so we can prepare for the other side. So squeeze the left buttock even before you lift the other leg. So the left buttock squeezes, we lift the right leg and hold. Hands on the hips and then turn that knee out, keeping the hip bones facing forward, keeping the length in your spine as you stand tall. Pushing your foot firmly into the floor. So just breathing out as you turn out. Breathe in, and then breathe out, come back. Here, let's just do 1 more. And we're going to take that right foot behind the left, just like you're on a tightrope. But here, allow the arms to lengthen beside you. And we're going to lift the heels, come up into the space above your head. And then bring the heels down. So just float up. Keep the bottom squeezed, the hips forward, and just feel you're going up and then down. Good. Now hold it here and let the arms float in front of you as you balance. And then bring the arms down. 3 more arm floats. Can you keep the heels off the floor? With the belly button towards the spine, squeezing your bottom, and drawing your shoulders down. 1 more. Good. And then bringing the heels down. Roll the shoulders, shake out the legs, and we change sides. So the other foot goes behind, probably your left foot behind the right. And then here, just lift the heels up and down first, squeeze the left buttock into the right, and then come down. Good. Get steady. It could be different from one side to the other. And then this time when we come up, we'll hold it there. Can you keep your balance as the arms float 4 times? Let the elbows remain soft. Continue with the belly button towards the spine. Just breathing out as the arms come up, breathing in to hold, breathing out to lower. And then come down. Good, roll the shoulders, take out the legs. Let's take a step forward, come down onto one knee and then the other. So here, if you want to roll the mat up to cushion under your knees, you can. And we're going to take your left leg out to the side and square off through the hips. So first of all, we're going to slide down the leg and then come back to center. So just stay with that kneeling side bend, breathing out as you come across, breathing in as you hold, and then breathing out to return. Squeezing into the left, opening through the right. So try not to lean forwards and back. That's it. We'll go with 2 more here. Stay through the center. Just coming over. And then from here, put your right hand down on the floor. If you'd rather put it on a block or a pillow or something so it's not so low down, you can. Hold that leg out. Now keep the chest up, the hips stacked, tap the foot down, squeeze the bottom, and then lift it up. So just work with this leg, lowering and lifting. Feel the waist draw up from underneath you as the belly button draws in. Good. And we're just going to do 2 more. Relax the shoulders. Look straight ahead. And then we place that foot back down. Come on up. And prepare for the other side. So you might want to come across the mat for space. The right leg out. Have that foot flat to the floor if you can. Square off through the hips. Hand down the outside of the leg and slowly slide down first. So it's a straight leg on the right. You might even get stretch on the inside leg, and that's okay. Good. And then here, as before, put the hand down, so left hand on the floor, and lift the leg. And we're going for those little toe taps here, tapping down, and then up. So think about the length down the side body, the belly button drawing in, the chest is open, and the shoulders are back. Maybe there's a little squeeze in the buttock here. Good. So one more time. And we're going to put the foot down and come on up. Good. So then from here, sit back into the heels, come onto your knees and take them wider. Sit back into the heels, take the arms forward. Draw the shoulders back as the arms go forward and sit back into the heels, bringing the chest down. Find a stretch through your back. Then we're going to come to lie on your front. You might want a pillow or something under your forehead. And we're going to lie on your front with your arms along the floor above your head. So straight arms. Have the little finger on the floor, the palms facing each other and the shoulders draw back and down. Now as you lie on your front, the hips are level, is a neutral space. Draw the tummy in. And we're going to think about our shoulder stability first. So breathe out as you draw the shoulders back and let both arms float off the floor. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. So allow the arms just to float and then come back down. They won't go too high because we want to avoid shrugging the shoulders. We avoid shrugging, instead we retract and draw the shoulders back. Feel the shoulder blades lie flat down your back. So the arms might even start to feel a bit heavy. And that's okay, we're using small muscles here, so just work with it. Gonna go with 4 more. Breathing out as the arms float. Breathing in, hold. Breathing out, release. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, continue. As you're on your front, continue also with the belly button drawing in off the mat to you. We don't want the belly to fall out. Good. When you're ready, relax the arms. And we're going to take the arms then in a surrender position with your hands just outside the mat, elbows just a bit lower than your shoulders, and draw the shoulders back and down your back again. So this time, we're going to lift your chest, your head, and your right arm, and we're going to turn and look at your thumb, feel the shoulder blade draw in, and then come back down. Other side. So breathing out as you lift the chest, the head, turn your head, look at your thumb, the arm has come up as well, and down. So one arm, chest and head float off the floor, and then you turn and the shoulder blade draws in, we move through the upper back a little bit there. Small movement, let's keep the legs still. Just feel one shoulder blade draw in towards the spine at a time. Just finding a little bit of mobility in the thoracic area of the spine. We'll do one more each side. Finishing with the opposite side to where you started. And then here, both arms come down beside you. Bring the big toes in towards each other. Relax the bum and the legs. We're now going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So a bit more focus on the upper back. Belly button in. Turn the palms in. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Come into your breaststroke dart. And then release. So just take a small range of movement. If that's you, that's fine. Go to your range of movement. You just get a little bit of space between the mat and our upper body. Keeping the legs really still. So try not to move the legs. We avoid squeezing the bum. Instead, we squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now, some of you might be happy to include the arms. Breaststroke arms. We float up. Bend the elbows, lift the arms above your head, circle wide around, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then come back down. So turn the palms in to squeeze and float. Bend the elbows, lift the arms up, circle wide, squeeze the upper back again, and gently lower. Continuing with the belly button towards the spine the whole time. So our focus is the upper back, not so much the lower back. If you're feeling in the lower back, just relax the legs a bit more, yeah? Big toes in. Continue to feel the belly button draw in towards the spine, support the lower back. Two more. Of course, if you prefer, you can rest and relax just there before instead anyway. Good. From there, we can push up onto the knees, back into the heels, and just take a stretch. Just shifting side to side to loosen up. And when you're ready, come to lie on your back. As you lie on your back, take the arms out wide. Have the feet together, knees together. And just let the knees drop to one side and look down the back arm. Still aware of drawing the belly button in. Maybe you feel like the ribs are coming down towards your hips. And then bringing the knees back to center. Slowly to the other side. Bringing the legs back to center. And then here, with the feet together, the knees together, bring your hands on your hips. We're going to come into a little knee drop with your bottom glued to the mat. Continue with the tummy drawing in and just turn your left knee out as you breathe out and then come back in. Breathe in, prepare, and then breathe out, turn the other knee out. So just a small movement, and as the knee turns out with your hands on your hips, try and feel, you become a little bit more aware that you can notice the other side isn't moving. It's a great tool just to have your hands on your hips so you can feel the other side is actually staying still. So we're stabilizing the other side as the knee opens out. Keep belly button towards you for that stability. And the next time with your left leg, let's lift the knee and then turn out and back in and down. Good. So same thing. What you might notice is with the leg lifted, maybe you don't take the knee out so wide if you find the other hip starts to shift. So feel it's a bit like we're trying to bring our hip bones towards each other to connect, hollowing between the hip bones. So one more each side. And then bringing the feet together again, arms out. Take the knees over to your left. And then draw the top leg over the bottom leg and extend that leg away, pushing the heel away. Keeping the shoulders on the floor. Bringing the knees together and slowly take the legs to the other side for the other side. So top leg over, extend the leg, push out through the heel. And then bring the knees together and back to center. This time, separate the feet to hip width and with the arms out wide, lift up your right leg and point it to the ceiling. Then straighten the other leg along the floor. Continue with the belly button drawing in. With your bottom glued down, we circle the top leg. So mobilizing the hip on this top leg, but again, we want the other side to stay still. So please, it doesn't have to be too big a circle. If you find your other leg is starting to move or shift around, slow your circle down or make it smaller. Now, breathe out as you start the circle. Breathe in as it completes. Continuing with the belly button towards the spine. Notice the ribs are coming down also. Take your circle in the other direction. Keeping your bottom glued to the mat. Continue to move with your breath, the pace of your breath. And we just do 3 more circles. And then we'll straighten that top leg down the floor, down the mat. Bring the other knee in, hold it close. So the leg that was circling, your right one, make it straight as you can and hug the other one in. Then here, tuck the chin, curl up, and we're coming to our single leg stretch. So extend one leg and then the other. Drawing the belly button to the spine. Try and notice the lower abdomen as the leg goes long and low. Drawing the ribs down. Feeling that tension in your torso. So remember here, if the neck is uncomfortable, please put your head down and continue like that. See how you feel. So we just try 2 or 3 more on each side, each leg. And then when you're ready, we can set the legs back down and prepare for the other side on the circle. So we'll do that again. So from here, lift up your left foot. Straighten the other leg along the floor, arms out, or just hands on your hips. And then from here, we circle the top leg. So it could feel quite different from one side to the other, as some of us know. Try and feel your bottom is glued to the mat. If your arms are out wide, the palms are up, so you're not pushing into the arms. It's light in the upper body. And just stay very much aware of that abdominal drawing in. We're still hollowing between the hip bones as we stabilize the hips whilst finding mobility in this top leg, the hip of this top leg. Take your circle in the other direction. Breathe out as we start the circle. Breathe in as it completes. Remember, often less is more. It doesn't have to be a big circle to be effective. Taking your time as we just try 3 more circles. And then we're going to straighten that leg down the mat, bring the other knee to the chest. So opening up the front of the hip there that we just held up in a shortened position. Hug this knee in. And then as before, curl up. We come into another round, single leg stretch. Tuck in the chin and look forward. Remember, of course, you can put your head back down if it feels better for you. Keep that abdominal connection, noticing the lower abdomen as the leg goes long and low. Lower back gently towards the mat, just a slight imprint there. Let's try 3 more on each side and work with your breath. Breathing out, breathing in. This time as we release the legs, take a big long open stretch. Lengthen out through the whole body, the midline, the front of the hips. Now we're going to roll over onto your side. So facing the screen, head in the arm, nice and long in the legs. So feet under hips. Now here the hips are stacked, the shoulders are stacked. Feel the tummy draw in, you might feel the waist draw up from underneath you. So connect through the center. And let's lengthen your top leg as if you're making it longer than the other one. Then bring the bottom leg up to meet it, squeeze the inner thighs together, press the heels away, flex at the ankles, maintain length and bring them down. So we'll just start here and take it from there. So breathing out to lengthen, get longer on the top leg. Inhale, hold. Exhale as the bottom leg comes up. Careful not to let the waist fall down. Keep drawing in. Flex and lower. So a couple more there, squeezing the bottom to help stabilize you in the hip. Really continue to draw in to steady you. And the next time the legs are together and floating out, hold it there. Then here, as you hold here nice and long, see if we can kick back with a double pulse. 1, 2, straighten the legs. Now, if it's particularly wobbly, please bring the bottom leg down and do top leg only. Yeah, this is still a great option. So feel free to do that. Listen to your body all the time. 1, 2, straighten the leg. Good. Here we can either have the hand in front, a bit of support there, on our hip. If you're feeling particularly in good balance and in line, maybe you want to try taking the arm overhead. If you do though, bottom hand holds top wrist, because this is all about length, yeah? And we don't want the arm bent like that, nice and long. So please, it might not be for everyone having the arm overhead. Bring it back down if you need to. If you do go there though, also notice the placement of your ribs. We want the ribs to be drawn down in towards the hips, not flaring out. If lifting the arm pops the ribs out, Use your breath to try and guide the ribs down, or just bring the arm back down and really focus on your position and your breath and your drawing in of the belly. 3 more. Trying to keep the torso still as you kick back. It's harder than it sounds. Good. So here, bending the knees in front of you. And with the knees bent, we're coming to our clam. So hips are stacked, knees together. Heel together, we open the top knee and you can turn the toes of the top foot up as well and then back down. So we're going to get mobility in the ankle as the toes of the top foot turn up. Squeeze your bottom. Good. Keep the belly button drawn in, the waist coming up from underneath you all the time. And again, if you're happy to, we can take the arm overhead. Actually, it might even feel easier here because our legs aren't so long. Just see how you go. And we get a little lifting or maybe a gap from underneath, because we're using the muscles in the waist to also help hold us in place. Notice the outer part of that top buttock. So breathe out as the top knee opens. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, lower. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, open. Good, 2 more. Taking your time. And then from here, give the outer thigh a little tap. Come up to seated. Before we do the other side, we're going to take that top leg, whichever one it was, over onto the other knee or thigh, or over that leg. And then take the hand behind and turn it back. So it's the top leg that you've crossed over, yeah? The one you were just working into that bottom. Really bring the knee in close to your chest. And then we just prepare for the other side. So lying down on your mat with your head at the other end. Straight legs first. We started with straight legs. Head and the arm. Hips are stacked with the tummy drawing in for the waist draw up from underneath you. And as before, we lengthen the top leg, not too high, just as if you're getting it longer than the other. Bring the bottom leg up to meet, squeeze the legs together, flex at the ankle. Keep the length of both legs as they come down. So lengthen out, feel space down the waist. Bottom leg comes up, flex, and then down. Good. Keeping the belly button in all the time. So next time, we get the length with both legs floating off the floor, and we kick back. 1, 2, straighten the legs. So remember, you can do top leg only. Yes, a great option. Maybe it feels quite different from one side to the other, and that's okay. So 1, 2, straighten the legs. Squeezing the back of the legs, the bottom. Keeping the hips stacked. You can always take the arm overhead if you wish. Leave it down if you prefer. If you do, go with a straight arm. It's not here, it's here, yeah? So if you're tight muscles around the shoulder and the back and you can't quite straighten your arm, bring it back down because they'll just create tension otherwise. Yeah. Top leg or both legs. We're going to do 3 more here. Really engaging through the belly button, drawing towards the spine, trying to keep your torso still. And then when you're ready, we just bend the knees in front of you. One leg on top of the other. And we open to clam. Dig the heels together. Squeeze the outer part of the bottom and then down. So be careful not to roll back through the hip. Your hip bones are facing forwards like headlights to the front. Dig the heels together and turn the toes of the top foot up. Remember, we also get mobility in the ankle then. Of course, you can take the arm over again if you wish, or leave it just on your hip if you prefer. Stay aware of the placement of your rib cage. Breathing out as you draw the ribs down towards the hips whilst the belly button comes in towards the spine. Just take your time. And we'll do 3 more from here. Good. And then once completed, give the other thigh a little tap. And we come up to seated again. So here, we're going to take that top leg over the other one, hug the knee in, and lift the chest, turn and look back, but really bring the knee in close. And from here, uncross the leg, have your feet hip width apart. We're coming to a little seated roll back. So feet, knees, hips in line. Lift your chest and bring the arms in front of you. You can also have the hands under your thighs. See how we go. So here, we're going to tuck the tail, ease your way down about halfway. Relax the shoulders, look forward. And as you engage with the belly, using the tummy muscles to bring you back up. Now sit tall, and here, lift your arms and draw your shoulder blades down your back. So you get a nice long seated position. The arms come in front, soften the shoulders, tuck tail, ease down to about halfway. Continue with that abdominal drawing in, easing your way back up, lifting your chest, lengthening up. Work into your breath. So take a breath in, prepare. Exhale, tuck under, ease down. Inhale, hold. Exhale, ease up. Take a breath in at the top and then a breath out to lift and lengthen. So we can stay with that, or the next time we come down, we can hold and then draw one arm back like a little bow and arrow, and then the other. So we add a little turn of the waist. And then ease our way back up to lift the chest, lengthen the spine and reach up. So adding that bow and arrow arm movement if you wish. If your lower back's not too happy today, you may not want to do that. You may just want to ease back up again, and that's okay. Feel a turn of the waist, get a little rotation. Continue with the belly button drawing in, lift the chest, lengthen up and look up. Good. So here, we're just going to try a couple more. Taking your time. Of course, if you'd rather shake out the legs, take a little release beforehand, you can. Keeping your bottom glued to the floor and your heels. Lifting up, lengthening up as much as you can. And then easing your way back up. Good. Then from here, tuck your tail, ease your way down and just come down to lie on your back. Gradually come down, bend the knees, and settle. Find a neutral space, settle there. Come into some pelvic tilts. And then just bring one knee to the chest and straighten the other leg. Just hold here to open up the front of the hip on one leg, all the way down into that thigh. And then the other side. Then lengthen some more by taking a big, long, open stretch. So let the arms reach above your head, the legs get further down your mat, and stay aware of drawing in the belly. Good. Then bring the arms beside you, bend the knees and bring the feet in to hip width. We prepare for our bridge. So settling in to a neutral space. You may want to use pelvic tilts to locate. You just settle within the natural curves of your spine. Again, we stay aware of drawing the belly button in. It's like it's coming in away from the waistband of the trouser to hollow. Here, let's tilt the pelvis, squeeze your bottom, and peel your spine away from the floor as you lift up through your hips. Hold it there. Very gently coming down, melting into the mat. And then again. So tilting your hips back, squeezing your bottom, lifting up, easing up through each part of the spine. Good. And gently lowering. So option one, you can stay there, just enjoy the mobility if you wish. Just going to move down the mat a bit. Option two, we can come up into bridge, squeeze the bottom, and lift the heels. Keep the bottom squeezed, and then lower the heels and come down. Bring the bum down last. So easing up, peeling up through the spine, keeping the tummy drawing in, belly button to the spine, high hips, shoulders, hips, knees in line. Lift the heels, keep the bottom squeezed to hold you up, hold for a few breaths. Gently lower, melting down through the mat. Good, option two. Option three, next time we come into bridge, if you wish, we've got the heel lift, and as we hold the heels off the floor, let's then take the arms back, drawing the shoulders down, soften the rib cage. Breathe out as the arms come down, then the heels, then the body. Letting your bottom find the floor, last of all. Good. So tilting your pelvis, squeezing your bottom, easing up and back through the spine. High in the hips as you lift the heels. Let the arms float back. The arms come down. Heels down. Gently melting down. So let's try two more. Remember, you've had three options there. Listen to your body. Maybe just your feet are flat to the floor and you're easing through the spine. You've got the heel lift or the heels lifting with the arms floating back. And one more when you're ready. Keeping the knees in line with the toes throughout. Feel you're using your bum muscles to take you up and hold you up. Very gently come down, and as your bottom finds the floor last, bring both knees to the chest. As you hug the knees to the chest, then allow the knees just to circle away from each other and around, mobilizing the lower back and the hips. And then we'll pop the feet to the floor and take a little stretch of the legs. If you have a band, we can use it. Otherwise, we can just hold the leg up with your hands. You can hook the band around your right foot. Elbows on the floor. Or just hold the band, the leg with the hands. That's it. If it's comfortable, straighten the other leg. Now slowly lower that leg down and stop just above the mat. Even slower, we bring the leg back up and draw it in. Maybe you're finding a stretch all over again. Back of the leg. So go again. Lower through the heel, keeping the belly button towards the spine. And then slowly draw up and lead with your toes. Bringing the leg in maybe a little bit further than where you started, and we hold. Hold the leg up and then point your toe towards the ceiling. You might get a stretch in the front of the foot. And then flex your foot to the ankle, heel up. You should let that shift into the lower part of the leg. So point again. And then flex. Here, let's change legs. So put the other foot in the band or just lift the other leg and support with your hands. Keeping the bottom on the floor. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, draw that leg in towards you. And then slowly lower the leg down to stop just above the mat. Keep the belly button towards the spine. Notice that inner connection. Breathe out, draw the leg up. And in, maybe a bit further than where you were. Good. One more time. We lower and lift. Elbows on the floor, shoulders relaxed, tummy tight. Bringing the leg back up. We find that stretch. Draw the leg in. Hamstring stretch, back of the thigh. So with the foot high, point the toes towards the ceiling. And then flex. So one more time we point. And then flex. Good. And then just releasing that foot from the band. So here, settle with the arms beside you. Relax the shoulders. And this time, take your right foot over onto the other knee or thigh. The knee goes out wide. So we're going to focus on one side at a time. Squeeze your right buttock, pushing the foot into the floor. We're going to lift up your hips using that right buttock. And then down. So we're going to breathe out and lift up, squeezing your bottom, and then down. So keep the belly button towards you and notice your hips. We want them to go up evenly. So although you're squeezing the right buttock, we don't want the left side to get left behind. So just a great bit of single leg work, focusing on one glute at a time, maintaining that core connection though, so we remain centered. Let's try 4 more. Pushing the foot down as you lift. Two more. And then when you're ready, uncross the leg. Take the right one over the left. Prepare for the other side. So push your left foot down, squeeze the left buttock, and we do the same thing, lifting up. And then down. So you may notice it's different from one side of the body to the other. That can be normal for a lot of us. Stay aware of hollowing between the hip bones. And again, trying to feel like your hips are lifting evenly to the same height on both sides as we try another 4. Just go to your range of movement, squeezing that left buttock to push the hips up. Just taking your time. And then from here, uncross that left and take the left one back over, but just to stretch. So put the hands through the middle and bring the legs in just a little bit closer. Stretching the outer part of the hip and the buttock. That's a little tricky. You can always just push the knee out wide anyway. And then we change sides. So take the other leg across. Get a little bit of a stretch there for the glute. And here, popping the feet back to the floor, hip width apart. We're going to come into tabletop. So allow the belly button to connect inwards. Be really aware of that. As you lift one foot, the knee above the hip, and then the other. When the second leg lifts, keep that core connection. We don't want the belly to pop out. So slowly lift the second leg. Good. From here, we're going to extend one leg forward as both arms go back, and then come back through. Change legs each time. So breathe out as you lengthen from the midline of the body out. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, return. Keeping your lower back a little bit more towards the floor than away from it. Continuing to feel that inner connection for stability around the lower back and the hips. So we could have a gentle imprint or neutral. And as the arms float back, draw the shoulders down from your ears. Noticing when the arms go back, the ribs are feeling like they're trying to draw down at the same time. So we don't want the ribs to pop out. So we just do a couple more on each side. Breathing out as you extend, breathing in to hold, breathing out to release. We can complete with the opposite side to where you started, and then just hug both knees to your chest. Bringing the knees in, just rocking in and out. And then here, we're going to curl up towards both knees, tuck the chin, and take both legs up and the arms out. And then bring them back in. So the shoulder blades are off the floor. We've tucked the chin and curled into it. But please, if the neck isn't happy, put your head back down and do the same. Yeah, listen to your body. Now, we can stay with this if you wish, or maybe we can take the legs forward instead of up, adding a bit more to our core. However, if when the legs go forward, you find your lower back comes off the floor, take them higher instead. Yeah, we don't want to exaggerate the lower back away from the floor at all. We keep the belly button to the spine for control. So let's do 3 more. Legs up or forward, you choose. Listen to your body, be aware. Head down if you wish. And then here, ease the head and shoulders down, pop one foot down, then the other. Arms out, turn your knees to one side and look down the other arm. Slowly take the knees to the other side, look down the other side, just to open out again. Then bringing the legs back to center, Keep the arms wide. We find tabletop again, slowly. Breathe out as you lift one leg. Breathe in, hold, keeping the tummy drawn in. Lift the other leg also. So we're going to take the knees side to side, taking the legs across, and then extend the legs to that end of the room. Bending the knees, and come back to center. Take your time as you change sides, with the arms wide, the back of the hands on the floor, palms facing up. So it's light in the upper body. We're moving through the waist, the lower back, the hips, but feel you're using the muscles in the waist to almost help guide and control the legs. So with the belly button towards the spine, the muscles in the waist co-contract, and they almost draw in at the same time. Here we're just going to do one more on each side. Try and finish for the opposite side to where you started, keeping it even. Working with your breath as these legs travel to the pace of your breath. And then once completed, bring the knees to the chest once again. This time, as you hug the knees in, circle the knees away from each other and around, mobilizing the lower back and the hips. Good. Then here, you can pop the feet to the floor, take the knees to one side, and bring yourself up to all fours. So here with the hands underneath the shoulders, there's a gap between both knees, giving you that base of support. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. With the belly drawing in, reach opposite arm and leg, and then turn them out. Hold it there. Again, feel the waist coming around you. Bring them back, and then down. Take your time. Slow. Extend. Hold. Turn out, keeping the torso fixed. Come back in and down. Now you can always do this lying on your front, especially if there's concerns with your knees, your wrists, your shoulders. You can do exactly the same lying on your front. Think four corners of your body wherever you are. Two shoulders, two hips in line with each other. As I look at your back, maybe it's like a rectangle. So let's do one more on each side. And then here, put the hand and the leg down, take the knees wider, sit back into your heels, arms forward, finding a little shell stretch there. So chest down, arms forward and ease into it. And then taking both arms around to your right and let your left arm cross over the right so we get a little bit more of a stretch in the left side of your back. Slowly take the arms to the other side and let the right arm cross over the left. Keep sitting back into the heels. And then bringing the arms back to center, come up onto your knees, tuck your toes and push back into your heels, coming to a standing forward fold. Let the head and the hands just hang. Pressing the heels into the floor, you may notice the back of the legs, but keep the knees soft. Continuing with the belly button to the spine, tuck the tail and please very slowly roll up, start to come up, but feel it's like you're putting each part of the spine back in its place, gradually coming up, rebuilding the spine one at a time through each section, each vertebrae. Allow your head to come up last, so the chest lifts, the shoulders roll back, and we look forward. So here, with a feet hip width, we roll the shoulders back, let the arms hang lightly beside us again. Continue with that core connection and squeeze the right buttock, breathe out, lift your left arm and leg. So be careful not to lean back, and then down. Take a breath in, other side, breathe out, lift the right arm and leg, shoulders above the hips, and then down. So we have a breath in to prepare, a breath out to lift, a breath in to hold, a breath out to lower. Inhale, prepare, exhale, continue. One more each side. Little squeeze in the bum cheek through the standing side. Good. And with your feet hip width, roll the shoulders, lift the heels and bring your arms to shoulder height, and then open your arms wide, open your chest. We get a little spine twist here as we balance. Turn the waist, but keep the hips forward. Come back to center. Turn the other way. Hips forward, try and keep the legs still. It's a small move. Come back to center. Bring the arms in and down. Roll the shoulders. Let's do that again. So come on up. Tummy drawing in. Arms open. Gentle squeeze in between the shoulder blades. Turn the waist to the left, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Come back to center. Keep the arms wide. And then the other side. So the arms are staying wide. The movements from the waist, the upper back. Come back to center. Bring the arms in. Link the hands. Take the arms forward. Tuck the chin and look down. Feel like you're separating the shoulder blades as you stretch. Then bring in the arms behind you. We open the chest. Draw the shoulders back and lift the chest. Lift the heels, come up into the space above your head. Turn your head just to one side. Come back to center. And then the other side. Come back to center. Bring the heels down, roll the shoulders. And as we stand here with the arms light and loose beside us, press the heels into the floor. And you may find we have a little tilt of the tail so we can lift the chest and find more length from the tail to the top of your head, standing as upright as you can into your own true height. Take a deep breath in and then out, keeping the shoulders down. So breathing full and wide in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just a couple more breaths to notice. Still aware of the belly button towards the spine. And with your next out breath, you can soften the knees and give the legs a little shake. Thank you very much.